what's happening? We ain't gonna be on here too long. Bengals game day, and as the title suggests, we're gonna talk about the Kevin Stefanski stability fallacy. Now, if you're new to the show, we've talked about this a couple of times, but if you are new, let's just flash a little graphic here. These are your win percentages. Let me get that Burning River Browns off of here real quick. Can we remove that? There we go. Shout out to the Burning River Browns. Okay, so this is your coach win percentages 2020 to 2023. As you can see right here, in points where they score 20 or more, Kevin Stefanski is 31 and 11, 73.8%. The problem with that is that the other three coaches in his division have a higher win percentage than him. So he's dead last in games where they score over 20, 20 or more. In games where it's 19 or less, he is 8 and 23, which is 25.8%, which is good for third best. So you see in both of these statistics here, he is either worse or second worst. And in a division where you have Tomlin and Harbaugh, that is not going to cut it. So let's look ahead to today's game. Let's take a look at the spread. Let's see what the spread is talking about real quick. All right, let's see here. All right, so right now you got Cleveland at 9.5 point underdogs. Money line is plus 410. So you put $100 up, you can win $410. Let's see. Sometimes you can look at the alternate spreads. Let's see if we can look at the alternate spread here. So, yeah, there's not even better odds on that. So, yeah, right now, Vegas is saying that the Browns are going to get pretty much blown out. And, I tend to agree with them. They're starting DTR today. And this offense hasn't been able to muster more than 20 points except for a handful of times. So, you basically got a second year quarterback. You got an offense that really has been anemic. You got a defense that's been playing pretty much lights out, at least in my opinion. They've been playing lights out. But, it doesn't really help when you're only playing one phase of football and the other two, special teams and the offense, don't play complementary football to your defense. So, what is the common denominator in this season? We titled the show is the Kevin Stefanski stability fallacy, and everybody keeps saying you don't want to change coaches. You don't want to change coaches. That's a breeding ground for mediocrity or inferiority. Blah blah blah. Well, under Kevin Stefanski's watch, he signed off on getting rid of Baker Mayfield. Regardless of how you feel about that, whether you feel like it was the right move, whether you feel like it was the wrong move, whatever, he signed off on that. So that was stability at the quarterback position that you had for a couple of years that you let walk out the door. You let Odell Beckham go to the Rams for pretty much nothing. You got rid of Jarvis Landry. You got rid of a couple of other pieces where you're talking about, especially Landry. He was your core locker room guy, and you let him walk. And so you see that now being at 3-11, we don't really know where the locker room is right now. We don't know how they feel about it. We don't know really how they really truly feel about the coaching staff, how they feel about the leader of the team. But it's clear that something is awry. Everybody would say that on paper the Cleveland Browns are not a 3-12 team. I think everybody believed that. But the problem is that the one common denominator you have is this two-time coach of the year, which really, if we're being honest, the coach of the year should be the coach that wins the Super Bowl every year. If we're being honest, Andy Reid should have been the coach of the year the last 3 to 4 seasons, however long it's been. So it's really one of those regular season awards that really don't mean anything. So the fallacy in keeping Kevin Stefanski strictly for stability, as you've seen the 4 or 5 years that he's been here, isn't really going to bear fruit. And how many quarterbacks are going to take the blame for, let's just call it what it is, in my opinion, a lack of coaching? Because let's just say 3 or 4 out of those 5 years, your defense has been elite, with the exception of maybe the one year that Joe Woods was the coordinator and they was having busted coverages. But the year before in 2020, they held Kansas City to 20 points or 22 points, and you had an opportunity to win that game. They just held Kansas City to 21 points with Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator. And if you could score more than 21 points, obviously, you can win that game. They can only muster 7, and you are where you're at right now. So this notion that keeping this coach strictly for stability, you don't have one of the best coaches in the division. You don't have one of the best coaches in the league. You have an average to below average coach, really in the 20s. He's probably in the 20s. We're talking about his rankings. And he's supposed to be an offensive coach. And this offense has been the Achilles heel of this team. Really the last couple of seasons. Now we know Chubb got hurt, but I don't know that a healthy Chubb last year was really going to save you. Because again, Stefanski, when you're talking about situational play calling, he wants to win it his way. He wants to make it look good. He wants to. I don't think he's playing football. I think Mike Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh, and them, I think they're playing football. They're making football decisions. Stefanski, Ivy League guy, Andrew Berry, they're Ivy League guys. Somebody tell me, and maybe I'll have to research this, how many Ivy League front offices are responsible for Super Bowls? We watched New England rack up 6 of them in the last 20 years. I wonder, is anybody in the front office in the Ivy League? So this weight that they're putting on these guys' ability to build teams still hasn't really bore any fruit. And at 3-11, 3-12, probably after this week, what's the logic? Because Andrew Berry doesn't really draft well. I don't trust him with a top 5 draft pick. He's good at trades. He's good at free agents. But are you really willing to wait another season where the quarterback situation is up in the air with a team that's, ready to win now? And you look at what the Vikings are doing with Sam Darnold. I hate to bring it up, but you look at what Tampa Bay is doing. Granted, they're in a weaker division. Nobody would really even dispute that. Because if the Browns was in that division, they probably would still be in running to make the playoffs. But so we understand that. We understand. But the AFC North, because you're not in a weak division, because you're not in the NFC South, because you're not in the AFC South, you don't really have the time or the luxury to be going in the seasons thinking 6 to 8 games will get it done. You're not in that type of division. You're in that type of division where 10 to 12 games is what's going to get the division done. And we haven't seen a division win since what? The AFC Central. So keeping Stefanski in the name of stability is going to get you more of the same. We've gone over the stats. We've gone over the graphics. You've got enough of a sample size. Kickoff is in what? About an hour, 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Appreciate you if you stuck with me to the end. Dawg Food Radio. Shout out to the Fanatical Elves, everybody on the team. Hope you're enjoying your holiday with your family. Blessings to you. And we'll catch y'all on the postgame.